Hi guys, it's JB here, and not with a video that you'd expect. This is a TV review, really, and the sad demise, I think, of one what was a great soap institution with its gritty characters, great storylines, and its brilliant sense of humour. I'm talking about Coronation Street, and I'm asking in this video, has Corrie gone crap? That's what I'm asking. Because to me, there's too many dark storylines. I can understand the Sinead Daniel one, cancer one. That needs to be played out, and that's fair enough. You can have a sad storyline, but just the one. Rest of it surround. Build it around. With also they need to address a balance. It's completely gone rubbish. But now they've got Gary Windass acting as if he's Godfather, kicking lumps out of people. If anyone breathes within 5 yards of Gary Windass, he starts kicking lumps out of them. He's gone on the psycho. He's gone on the psycho. As soon as that storyline's wrapped up, the better. And we've had all sorts of other storylines that have just been dull and boring. Has Coronation Street lost its sense of humour? Has Coronation Street just lost its panache? Have we got poor quality writers? I mean, if I was Tony Warren now, the great Tony Warren, nearly 60 years ago, created the street. And when he created the street, I know this is probably going back a few years now. It was a time when Britain was coming out of the war. It was not 15 years since World War II had happened. And Britain was on the breadline a little bit. It was poverty, but it was cobbled streets with houses. But people had up north, it was all Coronation Street style terrace houses, and you could see smoke from the chimneys, and there was mills around the northwest of England. That's what it was all about in those early days. And the premise was that it should be about a northern way of life, how they deal with things, have a stiff upper lip about them, and carry on regardless, and things like that. That was the main premise of what Tony Warren created back in 1960. And for a good 35, 40 years, that sort of premise has been kept, obviously gritty storylines, but with quite a lot of humour in it. And that's what Corrie was about. Iconic characters like Elsie Tanner, Hilda Hogden, Ina Sharples, Bette Gilroy, Reg Holsworth, Rita and Mavis at the cabin, Ken and Deirdre Rashid, Ken Barlow and Deirdre Rashid, all these iconic characters. I know Ken's still in it, but he's obviously knocking on a bit. But Emily Bishop, Percy Sugden, all these great characters you see, Curly and Reg Holsworth, all these brilliant creations, and they had some of the best writers in the business. Who can forget Elsie Tanner and Ina Sharples fighting in the cobbles, or Gail and Eileen fighting in the cobbles, or Sally and I think Sally and Natalie once had a fight in the cobbles. Like Reg Holsworth. The funny storylines like trying to think of a few funny ones now because there's so many. Like Derek drilling into Reg Holsworth's waterbed, or the scenes with Reg and Curly, they were just so laugh a minute, Those are the sort of things that I used to love about Corrie, and there's so many great moments you could choose from. It had iconic characters, but unfortunately, sadly, times have changed, and now it's all gone crap, really. And the reason I say this is because you look at the characters now; they're not as good. I mean, in the olden days, the acting was and the writing was absolutely top notch. It was acted beautifully, all these great storylines, But ever since the old has made way for the new actors, all they're interested in is money. Not about wanting to make the soap any better or better quality than what it already has or already has achieved. All these young actors and actresses are just motivated by one thing: lots of money. But the tragedy is they can't act. The sad thing is they can't act. and it's terrible. And some of these actors they draft in, they're terrible, absolutely utterly terrible. And ITV are paying them a fortune. Do me a favour. And then the script writers there, Tony Warren must be turning his grave. I mean, he did not create Coronation Street for some prick like Gary Windass to run round bloody beating people to a pulp. You know, he did not create Coronation Street so David Platt could end up in prison every 5 minutes. You know, and put the most funniest guy actually in the cast at the moment in prison and make him depressed. You know, Tony Warren did not create Coronation Street for Pat Phelan to kill people, or for. But there's been some right dodgy storylines. I'm sorry, but it has, and some of them, I mean, this thing with Carla. I mean, the factory roof, that was a fiasco as well. That storyline that seemed to run on and on and on and on forever. Just the storylines are so bland. Emmerdale's another unfortunate example. What I miss about Coronation Street and Emmerdale is that they were when they were big a few years ago. They had good stories. Yeah, you'd have the few. Obviously, you have a couple of negative storylines, but most of it was positive. You see people enjoying themselves in the Robbers Return or the Wolfpack or whatever. Now it's all depression and who's the father of this child and Christ Almighty. These soaps are on 6 days a week or 5 days a week. They must show about 15. There's like 15 different episodes of soap on the main channels, including EastEnders, right? And in every single one of them, it's just rubbish. Is it any wonder why Hollyoaks won Best Soap at the last awards? Because the 3 big soaps are just crap. I mean, Hollyoaks is getting crap, actually, to be fair. They've lost a few viewers as well. They've won Best British Soap. They've only won it because the rest of them are shit. And a shadow of what they should be is reflecting, because they are hiring crap producers, crap scriptwriters, crap actors. And Coronation Street is the one that suffered the most because, listen, I was a regular Coronation Street viewer for 30 years. I am man and boy, by the way. When I was old enough to stay up and watch it with my mum, with my parents, my mum was a big Corrie fan. It grew, and I loved it, and I loved the premise of the show and getting involved and discussing with the family. Like the waterbed episode. I'm old enough to remember that. That was one of the most funniest episodes of Coronation Street there's ever been. I watch classic Corrie now, and it's a lot better than the Corrie of today. I'm sorry, but Coronation Street is lacking a lot of really, really good characters now. I mean, the only way that Coronation Street, I'll watch Coronation Street again if they bring back some of the more popular characters. Get rid of your Gary Windasses and your Beth Sutherlands and all that BS. They're all rubbish. Get rid of that Kathy as well. I don't like her either. Get rid of that old bird that used to be on BT adverts that's now messing about with Tyrone and Fizz. Get Fizz away because she's boring and dull. Dev, he's past his sell-by date. He's as bland as they come. And get people back like Jim McDonald, for example. Reg Olsworth, Curly Watts. Who else could they bring back that's still going? Des Barnes. Bring people like that back. Give it, some of the old characters that are fun characters as well. You want some fun as well. You can have a little bit of seriousness in the soap, but there's also a room for humour and drama. The best dramas sometimes have a lot of comedy in it. You take Cold Feet and Doc Martin, mainstream dramas in their own right, but they have lots of comedy in it. Yeah, you've got serious. In Doc Martin, you've got medical emergencies. In Cold Feet, you've got everyday problems. A bit like Corrie, but they do it perfectly with a fine balance of serious stuff and comedy stuff. And that's what Coronation Street should be. Exactly like Cold Feet, but done how it should have been done 30 years ago. And Until that happens, they've lost the viewer for good. Until they bring back all these iconic characters I've just said they should bring back, then I think that's me switching off for quite some time, because it is a critically ill program, and it's sad because I'm you know, as I said, for 30 years growing up, I was a big admirer of Coronation Street, and what it did, and it was it pushed new frontiers into like drama serial. Now it's a pale shadow of itself, and all the big soaps are Emmerdale and your Corries and your Emmerdales and your EastEnders. They are way behind. I mean, it's is it any wonder Hollyoaks won best soap at the British Soap Awards? I mean, come on. Until Coronation Street cleans up its act, I certainly will not be watching. I'll watch the classic ones on ITV3 because I think they're good. It gives you some escapism. And that's what you want to see on the television at 7:30 on a weeknight. You come in after a long day, whether you've been working or you've been out somewhere, you've been shopping or been seeing friends or whatever, and you just want some escapism for half an hour. That should be the escapism. Instead, we're seeing Gary Windass act as if he's somebody Al Pacino, big shot, beating up everyone that owes him a couple of quid. That's not real life. That's just horrendous. And the acting is poor. It's absolutely poor. I mean, I could do a better job myself. So until they bring all these great iconic characters back, then I won't be watching. Right, that's it for my little review on Coronation Street. The way is CORRIE crap. Let me know what you think. Is CORRIE a pale shadow of its former self? And what do you think it needs doing to make it feel good again? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video as well, leave a like. If you haven't subscribed to the video, and you haven't subscribed to the channel rather, and for goodness sake, why haven't you? Please subscribe, hit the notification bell for future videos, future uploads, commentary streams, name it, we'll do it. Hit that notification bell if you want to get first dibs on that. And that's about it. Thank you very much. Oh, by the way, before I go, check out our Facebook companion page at www.facebook.com/JBClaret. And that's it from me. Take care, and I'll see you soon. And and I'll see you hopefully with some weekend commentaries. I don't know what games we'll be covering, but we'll let you know in due course. But until then, from me, JB, have a fantastic Friday. See you over the weekend sometime. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.